It won't be long now before the TTC Metro Pass becomes a thing of the past. It will not be available after the end of this year, and tokens and tickets will not be accepted after the end of 2019. By then, the Presto card will be the only way you can pay your fare. In the meantime, though, Toronto's new streetcars are equipped with a kiosk, which gives you the option of paying with a debit or a credit card. But as one rider shows us, very often, he says half the time, it doesn't work, forcing him to find another way to pay, but also tempting him to not pay at all. The frustration this rider is feeling is pretty obvious as he tries repeatedly in vain to pay for his streetcar ride with his debit card. He paid when he got to the subway, but admits sometimes he doesn't pay at all if the machine doesn't work. One. Pay. When I tried it this afternoon, it took my money no problem. So it worked for me. But Metrolinx, which owns these machines, admits the debit credit option is notoriously unreliable, so are looking at alternatives.
So we're currently testing removal of the credit and debit functions to see if the performance is improving. And so far the early tests are yes, they are. So we're going to have to make a decision with the TTC as to the long-term support of credit and debit on those new streetcars.
Annalise Cerny says only a very small percentage of riders use the debit or credit option, so if they do eliminate it, they don't expect it to inconvenience that many people. Now, the TTC does say that malfunctioning machines, including Presto machines, have resulted in more than 1 million free rides. And officials are trying to recoup what they estimate is about $4.2 million from Metrolinx for so-called revenue leakage. Cerny would only say that discussions with the TTC are ongoing about that issue. But she also firmly states that Presto is on its way to being a resounding success, with more and more people using it every month. 30% of TTC riders have switched to Presto already, to the tune of over 1 million rides per day.
Most of those go flawlessly. The early days we did have issues with the project rollout, and there were some blips and so on, as happens with any IT program. Those are being sorted out with support from the TTC, and so we're working through those issues.
You have a Presto card?
I do.
Do you find that works well?
I do. I like it very much. Very convenient.
Yeah, I just commuted from Hamilton into Toronto for an interview, so I use this actually very often to come into Toronto.
But some riders say there are kinks that definitely need to be worked out.
I just tried to load $20 on my Presto card, and the machine made me load $40 into the machine, only to give me back $19.95 in change.
Why would it do that?
Which I now have in my pocket, all here.
Oh my gosh!
All this change for no reason.
Church Street.
Others admit that while there are Presto machines riders are supposed to tap at every door of the streetcar, if they're broken or malfunctioning, sometimes they don't bother to pay.
Gets really busy, or like if the thing's really like jammed, or like if there's so many people I can't get through to the other side, so I kind of just forget
to pay.
The machine is often not working at the front, but usually I tap at the back.
Metrolinx says Presto is becoming even more convenient. Metro passes can now be loaded onto your Presto card. As well, they have just begun testing today, in fact, a new Presto ticket for use on the TTC. Starting in 2019, riders will be able to buy single fare tickets, 2-ride tickets, and eventually an all-day pass.